to Alfie and Charlie at breakfast. Now, influential business leaders from Hamburg are visiting Newcastle today, and it's in a bid to strengthen commercial links between the two cities. Last year, the North East exported nearly £7 billion worth of goods to Europe, but it's hoped that this link-up will make Newcastle the European regional capital city.
Yes, it's organised by the city's business improvement district company NE1. Stephen Patterson is there. Quick word with you first, Stephen. So exactly what sort of trade opportunities are we talking about here?
I think it very much in the first stage, it's about coming together and starting the conversation directly between the two business communities of Newcastle and also Hamburg. I think there are many similarities between the two cities in terms of our approach to regenerating the city centres of both Hamburg and Newcastle. And certainly from the visit yesterday, I think there were a lot of interesting similarities and schemes and approaches to doing things.
But you've got to take it to the next level, haven't you? Because pointing out similarities and saying, hey, we've got something in common is one thing, but then making that work into something that's useful is another.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And I think that's why visits like this are very important, because you, being face to face, spending so much time, we're very fortunate that they're here for 2 days, and very senior people as well. So it all starts with that conversation and putting the two business communities together. Anything
practical standing out at the minute? Anything in common that, you know, an area of expertise, for instance, that we could build upon?
I think property development, I think the approach in Hamburg has been fantastic, and certainly how they have supported the businesses and the local communities with their approach to the development of the public realm and those businesses. So I think that was the big thing that came out yesterday. But there's also a different style of governance in Germany. It's very much more devolved, so they have more local say over what they do within their city, and I think that was very interesting as well with the current debate.
Let's bring in an influential business leader.
A little bit too much.
Flattery gets you everywhere. Jean-Jacques Chapeau Rouge of Hamburg. What do you make of it so far? Have you had a good stay?
Well, yeah, we were invited for dinner, and it was really acceptable. I must say, I lived in London some years ago, in the 80s, and England has changed than that.
Stephen's mentioned, you know, the accommodation, particular sectors. What's impressed you most? What could you build upon?
I was impressed about the renovation of old public structures, as the main station, for instance, and the structure of the town itself. I think you are facing a horrible lot of chances with your town to go ahead, because it's a beautiful town, and beauty is a value for its own. And I think good made towns are the reason for good social behavior. So good made town is a more or less soft skill for the people locally.
It's a science city. We're impressed by that. Were you?
Not yet.
More on that today.
Okay. Are you concerned with the wider implications of what could happen, you know, after the election with regards to the UK and Europe?
Well, we are very interested in what's going on in England, because we are our closest ally in any way, and mentally we are the same tribe, and we are very interested in what Mr. Cameron is going to do. We think England should have a chance to decentralise a bit, because local situations are sometimes more useful for the people in the country.
Actually, on that, have you come across here and been surprised by anything as regards our mentality? Some people say we look towards Scandinavia, towards Europe, as in the North East, rather than looking down to the rest of the country.
So do we.
You'd agree with that? Okay, so what's next? What are you going to take back?
I think that experience that England is changing. We hope, or it's my own view, we hope that you have the chance to decentralize, to detect your own strength you have in the country. I do remember the times from Margaret Thatcher where the opposite happened here. And to bring up all skills of the country means to decentralize.
Thank you for coming in, and I hope we see you again. Maybe we'll do an outside broadcast from Germany.
Can I just ask one thing? Are the deals that you could be brokering when you're here dependent on what happens at the general election?
Sooner or later, yes. If Britain is deciding to go into divorce with the European Union, this would be a true catastrophe.
Deals will be off.
Yes.
Okay, there you have it. In Black White, Jean-Jacques Chapeau Rouge, and as ever, Stephen Patterson, thanks for coming in again. It's just after 8:45.